हेलो। हेलो।
Yeah, good evening, everyone. We'll start once everyone joins. Okay. Yeah, we'll start after 5 minutes. Okay, everyone is joining.
Right, sir.
That's okay because everyone is joining. That news has to get to everyone, right? I know that people who are there from the start, they will listen to this comment. Yeah.
Good
Right, sir.
afternoon, sir.
Yeah, गुलाम जी कुछ बोल रहे हो आप?
नहीं सर, मैं नहीं बोल रहा है, दूसरा बंदा है, वो कह रहा है कि गुड आफ्टरनून सर।
Good evening to all of you. Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Yeah. Yeah, please wait. Let us start in 2-3 minutes. Well, let everyone join. Okay. All right. Good
Okay,
evening,
sir.
everyone.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, Asad ji. Yeah. Tell me. Yeah, sir, tell me. Yeah.
How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, hi, sir. I am Mustafa.
Okay, tell me. Good evening. Tell me. Yeah. Hmm. You said Hamad Rasul. Somebody kept a message saying that check the voice. Your voice is not clear. Oh, I have checked. So in between, I am closing the mic so that I'm waiting for everyone to join. Okay. So don't worry. All the things are set. Yeah. So now the time is 6:12, which is absolutely.
Sir, continue.
Hello?
Sir, continue to the topic.
No. I am not started yet. Not to continue. Okay. So I have not yet started to continue also. Let everybody join. So if I start at 6 o'clock, no, everybody will. Then everybody has to be before 6 o'clock. Then if it's, so that's why I'm waiting because nobody should miss the class. So don't worry, Mustafa ji.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So now today we are going to discuss about health and safety culture. So let me talk about the element 3. So already we have presented element 1 and element 2. Can anybody tell me there is a large gap. I hope you read that book also. You've seen the videos. Now tell me fundamentally what we have understood in element 1 and what you have understood in element 2. No, you have to answer. Anyone have to answer. ऐसा नहीं है कि you should start writing things and you have to start presenting it. ऐसा नहीं चलेगा. So I am telling you, what is the thing that you learned in element 1 and what is the thing you learned in element 2. So I want just a simple answer of it.
Sir, in element 1, we discuss about health, why health and safety is important. Why do we need to we manage health and safety?
Correct. So that is the thing we discussed. Why we should manage health and safety at all in the organization. Why it is required. So I told you everyone. Right. Now tell me why we should manage health and safety. What are the 3 reasons?
Sir, moral reason, financial reason, and legal reason.
Very good. Asaji, at least you, yeah. So that is, what is the element 2?
Sir, occupational health
Sir,
and
the
safety
element
management.
2.
क्या जी? Mustafa ji?
Sir, occupational health and safety management system.
Okay, correct. So professional, so how to manage health and safety management system, how does it look like and how to implement all those things we have studied. So the element 1, good. The element 1 talks about the element 1 talks about why should we manage health and safety. The element 2 talks about in order to have a system, I mean, in order to pursue something, we need some implementation. We need to have, suppose, some implementation. Like we should have some kind of a system to get interacted. That is why we are using Microsoft Teams, right? So we need to have certain base to move forward. That is why that occupational health and safety management system has come. It is like a documentation procedure. I mean, we are taking help from that ISO standard IA 45001 to implement that standard in the workplace so that it gets integrated in the at the required workplace. I already told you how to actually understand between a 9001, how to understand between 14,001. So how do you develop? What is meant by system integration? All those things I have told you very, very clearly, right? So that you should be able to understand. So why this is important, right? You all know that the companies, right? Like we are 9001 certified, we are 14,000 certified, we are 45. See, 9,000 is something that is quality certified. 14,000 is environmental certified. 45,000 is health and management system. So how to implement things related to upkeep of health and safety. That is what it will tell you when you start studying this. And we have seen from classes 4 to 10, right? PDCA cycle, plan, do, check in, plan 3, 4, 5, 6 will come. 7, 8 will come in do. Ninth one will come under act, check. 10th will come under act. So all these things PDCA cycle we are able to understand. So how resource allocations, how do you plan ahead, right? How do you make sure your resources are in place before implementing? All these things are things we have discussed in element 2, right? So that is why when I have given a chance of 2 days, everybody should be going through that booklet and completing element 1 and element 2. So you would have become much this one. And I also told you to told in day 1 how to look at R164, how to look at C155 of International Labour Organizations. So those are the international standards. I also told you to study those standards and write something and start discussing. So anybody has come with any doubts or something regarding element 1 or element 2?
Yes, sir. I have one question.
Yes, tell me, Gulamji.
Yes, sir. The question is that if there is a clash between two tribes or two persons, Okay, and they use weapons among each other. Then what in this scenario? What is the hazard? The weapons or the tribes or the men itself?
No, no, no. Ek bar, you tell me. I'm not able to get it. You are saying?
If there is a clash between two tribes or two person. Okay, sir.
No, no. I'm not able to get it. What is that? Two clars, sir.
Sir, no, you hear me?
I'm hearing you. You try to see. You
Sir,
try to
there is
keep
a clash. If there is a clash between two tribes or two person, okay,
two tribes, sir.
or two person,
Okay.
then they use weapons among each other. In this scenario, the weapon is hazard or the man itself is hazard. My question
The
is what?
see here. What is the thing that will cause injury? What is the thing that will cause injury? Why you? So you can suppose there are two ways a person can harm you. There
Yes,
are two
sir.
ways. Suppose you got it. You are into fight with your another person. You
Yes.
want to fight a person. Either you can fight with your hand or you can fight with the stick. You can fight with a sword. So that time when you're fighting with hand, hand will be the hazard. When you're fighting with stick, stick will be the hazard. When you're fighting with knife, knife will be the hazard. So when you're fighting with gun, gun will be the something that is coming and hitting you will be the hazard. So something that can cause you potential impact is the hazard, right?
Okay, sir.
So I don't know why that question has come. Very interestingly, you have put that. So is it that you were you are trying to read a story or something where you got this point?
No, no, sir. I ask only that I am confused between that
When no,
actually man is hazard or gun or weapon is hazard.
no, no, hazard means what? What is hazard? You tell me anything that has got the potential to cause harm.
Yes,
Anything.
but in
Okay.
this scenario, sir, but in this scenario, the man is also hazard
Yes,
and gun
yes,
gun is
my,
also hazard.
yes, man is also hazardous because when he suppose उसके हाथ से वो गिर गया sword, वो
Yes,
भाग
sir.
नहीं, he will not go away, ना, he will try to hit with the hand. So his intention is also a hazard. Actually, the thought of hitting has come from his brain, not from his hands or something. But the process of doing that, so this both men and as well as this one. But the most prioritized hazard will be from this one, from the what you use it. Okay. Suppose if the person is very weak, okay, that
Yes,
will not
sir.
consider as a hazard itself because he will, you know that he will not hit you. But if the person is strong, then the scene changes. His hand will also become hazardous. So that context you have to understand. That's all. So there is no big thing because in some cases you will have. I can also give you an example where you can never say what is risk or what is hazard. Okay, I don't want to confuse the class now, but I'm saying that's a good start to understand hazard, risk, and all. Yes. So that is how you have to start reading the scenarios. Okay. So some anything. Suppose suddenly I got an intention to harm a friend or I want a intention to harm somebody. So there is a feeling of hazard that has developed in me because what is hazard? Anything that has got the potential to cause harm. So your anger, your this one, all those things will start coming up. So that will start making you to hit that person. So that's a you're trying to develop a hazardous situations. You're trying to create an environment of hazardous thing, right? So you become a hazardous. You don't become a hazard in itself, but you become a hazard activity. From that, hazard will come. So hitting with hand is one hazard. Hitting with rod is one activity, is a hazard. Hitting with a sword or hitting with a gun. So whichever is better to destroy, you will take it. So if you're given a chance between a AK-45 and a knife, which one will choose? AK-45. No?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So, right. So any other questions of practical approach? Any other questions? Okay. Okay. 1 minute. Be in line. 1 minute. Yeah. So sometimes I suddenly stop my mic and video for 1 or 2 minutes. That's because uh, there's some urgent calls that are coming for the emergency calls. That is why I need to attend. So don't think that I suddenly left and don't get this one. Okay. So right. Now anyone with any doubt? At least Gulamji has asked one good thing. Hazard. So
Sir,
what is the? Yeah.
Sir, I have another question, sir.
Yeah. Please tell me. So we'll start in
Sir,
another.
Sir, in class number 4, sir, there is determining the scope of the occupational health and safety. What is meant by scope?
Very good. So scope means the area where your influence matters. I mean, tomorrow I go for somebody calls me for an audit of a particular industry, for example. So in that, when they call me for industry, they will specifically write what departments to audit, what is the area of audit area, everything will be clearly written. See, suppose that industry has got 2, 3 plants. Somewhere in one city they have got one more plant, in another city they have got one more plant. So whether I have to cover all the 3 plants or I have to cover only one plant. Plant means organization. So I have to cover only one organization of their this one, or I have to cover all the 3, or within the organization, what is my whether I there are only I am restricted to audit only process department. I am not supposed to look at other departments. And also sometimes organizations are also attached with tank farm. They are also attached with warehouses and all outside the they are all situated some 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, because they keep their tank farm and warehouses nearest to the supply chain is. So whether I should also go there and do that. So scope means the extent of your criteria, I mean the extent of that particular activity, to what extent it is covered. So that is called the scope. That is called the scope. So my scope now in this particular class is to teach a set of 25 people, who are given by the institute. So that becomes my scope. Suppose somebody else comes from other batch to listen to this class just for seeing how it is going on. So that is not, then it becomes beyond the scope, actually something deviating from the set standards where you're supposed to do a particular activity. So that is called scope, and crossing that becomes the beyond the scope. Scope means the area. That is the area what we are trying to cover.
Yes, sir, got it.
Okay. That's a very good question. Scope is also important. It is an important word that is discussed in all audit and during the this one. So if you also go to any organization, sir, I come to do an audit, then they will immediately ask, what is your scope? Scope is so if there is an electrical suddenly some electrical departmental persons will come to check your electrical connections, panel connections, how the HT line connections, transformer connections, switchgear connections and all. So they will check. They will then that is very clear that the electrical department persons only will check electricity. They will not come and ask HR department how is things going on. Are everybody present or not? They will not require. That is not their scope. Na? So why they will discuss that? But they ask one thing, that how many people are trained in electrical safety and all. So that question can be resolved. So all these things which are relevant to what work we do and to what extent we need to go and ask. Okay. So suddenly if you go, you're not interested in the discussion, you suddenly call to the head office, which is situated in some other country, and you cannot go straight away go on asking. It should be a part of your scope until unless your scope is well defined. What are the things you should check and where you can go? Otherwise, it becomes unnecessary, this one. Right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Right. So that is how we need to understand. Hope everybody got it also, other people. It's a very good question. Right. Now, today, right, na? Mr. Gulamji and other.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Any other Sahib Khalil? Sahib Khalil, Shahrukh, Usman, sir, everybody, I think, hope I told good evening to everyone. Naimat Ali just now come.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Yes,
Nice
sir.
to meet you.
Muhammad
Right.
Usman.
Right. Okay. Now coming to the element 3, we are discussing how to manage risk. So we all discussed what is a hazard, what is a risk. Yes or no? Exposure. These three are important to understand any safety. Without those three words, we cannot move ahead in safety. Yes or no? Hazard, risk, and exposure. Hazard will always be present. Okay, you should understand whether the risk is whether the risk will be really there or not. Only when you understand with the exposure concept. Exposure concept. Okay, suppose in the previous example, a person carrying a weapon. Okay, he had a very big weapon with him. Okay, because the person is a hazard, and also weapon is also hazard. Both can that person we don't know when his brain will change and when he opens up that this one. So that's okay. That's a hazard. Now until unless he keeps that weapon with himself and he doesn't move anywhere, he's not getting exposed to anyone, and no one is getting exposed to him. So the risk will be zero. But he starts hitting and around, moving around everybody and start hitting, then the risk will be high because he is himself making the hazard getting exposed to other people, or other people may be coming very near to him to get exposed. So either of the case, exposure means coming very near to the hazard is called exposure. So when the exposure is there, that risk will be very high. It will be risk will be there. Whether it is high or less, suppose if a person is hitting with his own hand, then risk is less. If a person is hitting with a knife, slightly medium, okay, you can have cuts and this one, it will not lead to until unless they're bleeding and all. If it is a bullet or a gun, the risk will be very high because the outcome will be disastrous. So that is how we have to balance hazard, exposure, and risk between the anything that we discuss about that. Okay. Anyway, we'll try to tomorrow the same time exactly at 6 o'clock. All of you, please be present tomorrow also by as fast as possible because tomorrow we'll have a risk assessment being done. How to do your risk assessment? We'll take one small example for which you should give me the ideas. I'll type it and I'll prepare a big this one. It will take some half an hour or 45 minutes of the exercise. You should be able to do that. Right. Right. Managing risk, understanding people and processes is what we will be discussing now. Element 3 is about managing risk. You all know what is a hazard. The actual definition of hazard is anything that has the potential to cause harm. Means anything or any activity or any process or any element, anything that has got the potential to cause harm. Potential to cause harm is called the hazard. Now, what is risk? How the hazard which is present, how much it can, what is the outcome of that hazard in terms of both severity and likelihood is something which we call it as a risk. So until unless somebody gets exposed, no, then it will get converted to risk. Okay, so what is the likelihood? Okay, what is the likelihood and severity of that harm getting converted into real harm is what the risk is, right? You have to understand those definitions. If you type hazard and risk, even in every book it is given hazard and risk, and there are thousands of definitions across the internet, across the books and all. There is no standard definition, but as per ILO, anything that has got the potential, anything that has the intrinsic habit of doing that damage is called the hazard. Okay, so you can define in any way you like it. So only thing is that when you define, you should be able to present in a correct way. So what I suggest now, hazard, exposure, and risk. Try to learn these three words and sentences related to them of your choice, because I said there are so many definitions for it. Tomorrow these three are becoming to be a vital interview questions because these forms the basic thing. So when you go to any interview, after they start asking what is your name, where are you come from and all, this becomes the top three questions. What is hazard, what is risk, and what is exposure? Yes, tell me, sir. Somebody said and left off. Somebody was trying to say, na, or ask something. No? Is everybody okay?
Yes, sir. Continue, sir.
Yes,
Please.
sir.
Yes,
Oh.
sir. All
Okay.
Right. I'll continue because in between, I need to also know whether you are able to get it. Now, there are 8 chapters that we will be studying. Typically, we may study some 4 or 3 chapters today. Balance 5 to tomorrow we'll do because we need to assess the risk also. Right. So now we will the top 4 because see this particular element 3 is a very big one. A lot of information has been gained from this element, and it becomes the base because in IG1, most of your answer questions will be somehow related to the words that are present here in this particular element. So typical element 1 or 2 are the basic fund of understanding safety. Element 3 is to expand your knowledge beyond a particular point where we talk about health and safety culture, how to improve. Once you know what is meant by culture, then we'll start improving health and safety culture. Next, how human factors influence behavior positively or negatively, assessing risk, management of change, mock, safe systems of work for general work activities, permit to work systems, emergency procedures. So these are the 8 things that we need to study, right? So now, coming to the first one, health and safety culture. What is a culture? Can anybody tell me what is a culture? Safety culture we'll come to know when we know what is a culture first.
Sir, cultures mean the behavior of surroundings, peoples, and their acts and their
Behaviors,
rules.
everything. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Correct. What you said is
Mm,
correct, sir. So, see, we all right from the day we were born till this day, we also take up, we also get influenced by our, first we get influenced by parents, then our relatives, then we get influenced by our society, then we get influenced by the state, then we get influenced by the nation. So, as we go along, there are different influencing factors for us for us to have a particular set of behaviors, attitudes, values, and all, right? So we develop ourselves a certain amount of systems in us, and based on that values that we develop within ourselves. So due to different reasons, I said that how we are able to, we develop a pattern of behavior. We develop a pattern of behavior. Our behavior is influenced the way we grow up, the way we brought up, the way we pick up values from this one. So then when the patterns of behavior will be an outcome of our individual traits. So this is called the culture. So culture, that is why so as a communities, we have got certain sets and standards. So every community or every nation or something, they follow a set of rules and regulations because those are the guiding factors that will tell you what is wrong, what is not. That is happening for so many thousands and thousands of years, and we try to make sure that a certain amount of perceptions, attitudes, and all are being driven so that a proper social culture gets accepted. Okay, so that is what. Now, if you start, expanding this culture to health and safety culture, we are talking only with respect to a culture that is present with respect to the safety, how people are behaving towards safety, how people are reacting when you're talking about safety, how people discuss among themselves about safety, is how people see safety as whether they're seeing safety as important or not. So all these things. So that is why it is called safety culture. If you say that people discuss about safety among themselves, and people also they have a lot of positive element towards safety, then we can say there is a strong positive safety culture in the organization. If nobody is wearing PPEs, even though you give them, and even if you provide training programs, nobody will attend. They are not interested to provide a safety. Then we can say that safety culture is not actually happening in the organization. Now, hope you got it, na? So, culture is something that is typically a individualistic behavior that stems from group values. Okay, the way we create our perception. So, all these things, values, attitude, perceptions, will study what is individual. I mean, we'll try to understand attitude. We have a very clear idea, but still, I'll tell you the definition of what is perception, what is competency, what are patterns of behavior, what is attitude. So we are all, every human being is a set of different psychological this one. So every human being behaves based on his individual value, individual attitude that is developed, individual perception is developed, competency, you, me, everybody. So our behavior stems from the fact that our brain always has a certain amount of processing this one. So in the computer also, like if a computer is designed to do a certain amount of work, na, if whatever you give it, it will throw out. Na? So similarly, we also process a certain amount of facts and we also judge whether something we are trying to say is correct or not. So all these things, there is a benchmark with respect to values, attitudes, perceptions, behavior, everything. Those all things are taken. Like it's like a checklist. We check whenever we need to. So that is whatever we do or whatever we say or whatever we act or whatever we plan, everything stems from the culture. Okay, so it has got a very deep meaning. If you start going inside, this becomes a psychology lesson, right? So it's not that, but safety culture is very important, because a positive safety culture will always move the organization in a correct way. A negative safety culture will always try to bring down the organization, because a negative safety culture means people are not interested due to the way it is being projected, or their perceptions, their attitudes. We need to change. So the only way is to change them is to communicate with them. Try to give them the examples, show them the real this one. So that is like in providing information, okay, providing required training, provide required counseling, providing the required retraining, all those things. So this is very important. So, how people feel about health and safety, what people do about health and safety in the organization, what the organization has in place for health and safety. So, all these things will give you the answer whether safety culture is present in the organization or not. So, first you need to understand what is culture. Then you need to understand what is a safety. What is a safety culture? Okay. So, this is how we need to understand what is meant by safety culture, right? Yeah. Is it okay? Anybody, at least one person, can say yes or no, because I don't know if it's my voice is
Yes,
clear.
sir.
No
It's
no
okay,
need
sir.
to. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your voice is clear. Okay.
Kya Usman ji, my voice is okay na? No, somebody is saying kya hai? What is not okay?
Sir, he is saying that your voice is okay.
Okay, thank you. You confirmed my this one. Okay. All right. Sayyid Meera Bas. Now, Mr. Shahrukh, you're there?
Yes, sir. I'm
Okay.
listening.
Yeah, Shahib Khalil, you're there, na?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right. So just right. So it's my duty to, in between, check with everyone, because everybody, I don't know, some people may suddenly cut off their audio due to some really reasons, and they can think that I've gone off or something like that. Okay. So now everybody got what is a safety culture, right? So how people feel about
Yes,
the
sir.
health? Yeah. There are three things: how people feel, what people do, and what the organization has. So there is always a climate. How do you understand? See, I have said when I also as an auditor, I'll give you a first-hand information how safety perception can be felt. As I said, I go to many companies. The first thing immediately see, even you also, na. So when you reach any place or some place, depending upon the presence I mean, depending upon the way it is kept, the way looking at that place or something, you will get a feel of how things will be moving. You can able to try to pick up some things. Okay, we may not be able to 100% say whether things are moving in the right way, but looking at some building or something, the way it is maintained from outside, the way things are, you can say that okay, the maintenance and all is okay. So there's some amount of good climate that it. So in order to go deep into that, even when I even move into a company, okay, for a auditing purpose, even at the gate itself, we'll be coming to know the climate of the organization. So for example, in one company, they asked me for a proper name. Okay, they asked me for the proper information for all the details from me. So they provide all the safety PPE to me, and then they also give a small presentation for 5 minutes on what are the important unsafe practices that should not be done in the company. So, what are the different emergency numbers or first aid numbers? And also they give a tour on how to move. So, what are the different signages? So, whom to contact at what point, in which areas we are not restricted. So, in which areas we need to suppose to take permit. So, everything is detailed out in a way that that suits the emergency response. This one. So, in another company, after going there, said whom. So I come for audit and I may go to meet a person. So he said, please go straight and go left. That's all. So there are based on the two examples which I have given you, you can immediately say that well-defined safety standard that has been implemented by security systems to ensure a proper this one. So the safety starts from the gate itself. So that is immediately you get a feeling that yes, there is some good amount of culture that we can expect. ऐसा नहीं है कि just gate में दिया तो after going inside every will there can be people you can also have nothing at all inside, or sometimes we'll have more than that also, anything. So I'm just saying that all these things will give you a certain amount of idea at each point, like how things are moving. That is called feeling. That is called feeling. How people feel about the organization. So typically this class. So even if you're not able to understand for the first 15 or half an hour, typically the next 2.5 hours also would not be very clear with you. So you'll be just listening for attendance or whatever it is. So that is true or not? Yes or no? Correct, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So similar it is true
Yes,
for
sir. Correct.
even in the movie also. Yeah, just half an hour and all, we can get a feel how the movie is being designed, how the web series is designed. Yes or no? I don't know, but I get a feel of that. Okay. So now, what people do means the way the people do their activities, the way they present themselves, the way they behave with others. Okay. The way they see I mean, their actions, activities, and behavior with respect to other individuals. All these things are what people do observe. Suppose you see, you walk around in audit, and there are some people, there is an organization, I'll tell you, where I've seen, they are actually, they are, whatever PPE they are wearing, if they want to come back to some canteen or drinking water, they have to remove their PPE, right? When they remove the PPE, what is PPE? Personal protective equipment. So those are your gloves, shoes, masks, everything, anything that protects your body. It acts as a barrier from certain hazardous situations. Okay, that are PPE, personal protective equipment. So this personal protective equipment, the way they are keeping back, okay, the way they are maintaining, so how they are using it back and how they are again keeping it in a well-defined. Some people in one organization, they are just keeping those canteen. I mean, just keeping those helmets and all wherever they wish, like. So there's no proper procedure to adopt on retrieval systems and process systems and so all these things will can be perceived by others. How are your activities? How are your actions? How are your behaviors? Right. So that is what people do. Next, what the organization has. What the organization has is reflected in the organization's policies, operating procedures, management system. So now, once you get a feel of how people think about it and what people really do it, so you're able to take a photograph in your brain about about these two things. Then you actually come to the organization's real movement. So in the moment, I mean, how are their software and hardware systems present? I mean, so how they're taking the policies, how they're operating the machines and activities with respect to procedures, whether there is a standard operating procedure, whether how the systems, management systems, all. For, we are only discussing about 45,001. It's a health and management system. So how this system is getting integrated just for the sake of keeping the kept, or whether they're really integrating it. So I will tell you, integrating means in ISO 14001, it says that environment management, whenever something leaks, so in industry it is a normal thing where dust, chemicals, dust, or the material that we use, they can spill over. So it is a part and parcel of everything we do. So when something gets spilled over, the way we immediately retrieve it back and ensure that it doesn't get into the environment. So the way we clean the spill and ensure that it doesn't contaminate it with anything, and we properly segregate it, identify it, and the way we do a proper disposable talks about ISO 14001, that is called environmental management system. The same activity, how it is related to health and management, I'll tell you. So in that activity, when you are trying to clean the spill, you will be wearing certain amount of gloves and all. So you will also be using other PPEs. So whether those PPEs really are protecting the person when he is trying to lift the spill, that is what health and safety management takes care of it. It will say that suppose they are given cotton gloves and the spill is a acid. So can anybody use to remove acid with the cotton gloves? Can anybody do it? No, na. So that cotton gloves is only for handling dusty material. So it only protects the dust. It will not protect the acid material. For it, we need to have a special made PVC gloves, acid resistant. So those things are to be provided. And also, what are the respiratory equipment that are. So when somebody discusses with respect to health and safety, that is called a health and management system. So to the same system, if you are looking in a health and safety way, that becomes health and safety management. ऐसा नहीं है कि all the system is again new fund, ऐसा नहीं आएगा. So within the same thing, we need to do that. So that is what it will be discussed in management system, control systems. How we are able to control means what is the when some activity has to be done in only that way. Suppose if in the organization there is a very narrow pathway, for example, and they have to move at 20 kilometers per hour. There you keep so many signage boards, 20 kilometers per hour only. So we need to also have control systems there to move at 20 kilometers. So what you will do apart from signages, what else we will do to control the speed of the vehicles? You will also tell the drivers to move slowly. Also, at regular intervals, we keep the speed breakers to ensure that. So there are different control systems you need to keep in different ways to ensure that whatever you are thinking that should happen. I say, no, sir, after accident happens, no, I told him to move at 20 kilometers, but that person is not listening. So it becomes a classroom discussion. So in children, they tell to teacher, I say, sir, I told him he's not. I say, hota. If you don't have a system, you will start complaining to each other. No, this person only said that, a person only said that, I am correct, he is not wrong, he is wrong, I am correct. So you'll start working like a child. I say, nahi, system should be mature. That is why a system itself is called a maturity. That's why it's called mature. Now, communication workflow. How well you are trying to communicate. Communication should be both top to bottom approach and bottom to top approach. So always, if the information flow is not proper, then the communication is stopped. And workflow systems means every company has got different workflows. I mean, from the raw materials issued from stores to the product coming through the dispatch sections. It moves through different areas, different departments, different people. So that workflow has been properly implemented or not. So that is what integration means. That is what integration. Hope you got it. Na? These three are very important to understand how people feel, what people do, and what the organization has. All these things will reflect the true potential of a company, whether they have got a good safety and health culture.
Sir, what is mean by please explain it, control systems?
See, have you come across any company now they're also trying to have a control, we can call control departments or we can say instrumentation departments. See, from a most of the companies are now getting automated. Automated means by just sitting down at one place, okay, we can operate all the machinery. Like opening the walls or closing the walls. Okay, that is the most important thing and the most man-intensive thing. So that part is reduced. So they will try to do some kind of a pneumatic system or something that gets connected to a some kind of a electronics. This one instrumentation part. So this instrumentation, all the controls are kept there. So that is why it is called a control room. So control room means you're trying to control all the activities that are happening within the organization. So no need for a person to move every time for an operator to go there, switch on the wall and come back and all. But there were certain checks. So control system means the way you keep certain things in order to ensure that things move in a proper way is a control system. So control system can be automated or it can be manual also. So that is why it is called control systems. That is if you now feel I am speaking, suppose if you think my voice is very high or my pitch is very high, what you will do? You will decrease the voice, na?
Yes, sir.
There are two ways to
Yes.
do that. There are two ways. Either you will tell me to reduce my voice, or you will say you will try to reduce the volume at your. So there are two controls there. There are two controls. So you are trying to speak out and say that to me that please reduce your voice. Okay, I'll reduce. So that's one. That's a communication control you have done. Otherwise, without telling anybody, you will slowly decrease your voice in your other side. So you are doing a automated control. I mean, you are trying to do a non-verbal control there. But if you try to, there are certain, controls that have come in certain, they're also trying to develop some other things where if you try to say that this is the volume that my ears are designed to. You see, many of the earbuds, earphones, iPhone earbuds and all, they are earpods actually. They are designed to restrict it to some voice, noise controller. Okay. So if you are listening to much time, it starts slowly decreasing it. It is to ensure that to reduce the noise levels. Yes or no? So those are called automated controls. Without your this one that automatically based on time and the sound intense levels and peak pressures, decibel, it automatically reduces itself. So that is called automation. If your interference is there, it is a manual control. If your interference is not there, it is not. It is an automated control. Hope you got it, na? Control systems.
Yes, sir.
No, really got it, or you saying yes?
Yes, sir. Really got it.
Okay. Otherwise, see, why I'm saying, no, sometimes when you're not getting it, you can ask me. Okay. So no,
Okay, sir.
yeah. So 1 minute, huh? 1 minute. Don't go away. Got an emergency call. 1 minute. Yeah, hope everybody is getting, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So any doubts till this point? Yeah. Now, the indicators of organization's health and safety culture. Indicators means, what is meant by indicator? Indicator means that can be seen, that you can physically see and decide that yes, this is, as I said, na, when you go to any organization or any company, okay, from the outside, if you get a very good feel that the company is very good, painting is there, I mean, there's a proper upkeep of the company. From the outside, you can see it's very clean. Everybody is cleaning, everybody is doing their own work, everybody is wearing PP. So that is an indicator. Indicator means something that gives an idea on how things are moving. Those are called indicators. Those are called indicators, something that indicates. So in your bike, when you move on the bike, how do you know that you are moving at what kilometers per hour? There should be some indicator, na? So on the indicator, you will see
Yeah.
that needle will be moving from 20 kilometers, 30, 40, 50. So based on that, you will decide the outcome, next outcome. You will be knowing. If you don't have a indicator, can you tell at what speed you are going? No, no, nobody can say. But of course, regularly doing it may give you some idea, plus or minus 5. But going at high speeds, you cannot have a particular idea about these things. So that is why indicators are very important. Similarly, in companies also, based on certain indicators or certain data means certain values, we can say whether things are moving correct or not. So when we go to a doctor, when you go to a doctor and due to ill health, like having a stomach pain for so many days, so you tried normal medicine but it didn't go away. So you gone to a specialist doctor. Then he will check, and what he will do, he cannot directly say na, that this is the disease, you go away, I got it. Like, so he has to do certain tests, physical test and blood workout and all. So he will do some physical test and blood test and all, and he will try to check certain values. So those things are called indicators, because based on that particular values, based on this particular values, he will try to tell things are within range or not. Something is deviated. Something is deviated. So that deviation is taken as a indicator that yes, this is the reason for the problem in the stomach. So we'll try to reduce this part. So until unless you get a indicator, you cannot start working on it, right? So indicators are very important for us to take a decision and move forward. Similarly, in organizations also, okay, there are certain indicators that will tell us whether this company has got any good safety and health culture. So I said certain indicators are the cleanliness of the organization, the way people speak about the safety, the general feel about the company, how the company is trying to, how the people are talking, how the people are wearing their PPs and all. So that will be or physical, I mean physical indicators. So that may not give a true picture always. That may not give a true picture always. Now, you know, so that it doesn't mean that wherever you go, see many big hotels and all, they you go to very big five-star hotel for eating. Okay, so there they'll have very good seating arrangements, excellent ambience. Ambience means the way the lighting, the way the, so we create everything so beautifully around it, and there will be some. I mean, many chefs and all will ask what you want. At the end of the day, when they start giving you only small pinch of food and all, which you will not satisfy, which you cannot eat, or which you cannot get satisfied with eating. So all the indicators that we get in the initially will all go for a toss after if they bring a bowl of small bowl. You get it, na? So in many big restaurants, when you go, so the amount of quantity of food will be very, very less compared to the quality. So that's a problem for for some of the people. So I'm just giving all the indicators may not necessarily give a true picture. So in an organization, as I said, apart from the neatness, cleanliness, the way the people, there are certain indicators, other indicators also that will tell whether company is moving in a right direction or not. What are those indicators? First one is number of accidents or incident. So then you will go to the company safety officer and manager and ask him, just show me the record of all the accidents or incidents that have happened from the last year, last 2 3 years. Suppose if there is an increasing trend, in 2021 there were only 10 accidents, in 22 23 there were 20 accidents, in 23 24 there are 25 accidents. So now suddenly your perception will change about the company or not? Even though you see that people are wearing PPE, people are talking about, yes or no? So these indicators will give you a definite understanding about this one. So then you will ask why the number of accidents or incidents are high, why they are increasing and all. So again, they may give a different answer. They say that no, continuously we are changing processes, continuously we are accepting new machines. So there will be different reason when you think that company is very good in safety, but still you find this accidents are happening. There must be a valid and sound reason. Otherwise, if they don't have a sound and valid reason, or just like that they're happening, they're just doing these things like PP and all for a show off. Nobody is even, only during audit time they will tell people to wear and close it off. I say that is one thing. Next is about the number of work related illness. You go to that OHC. OHC means Occupational Health Center. That's a medical room in the company where people go for small incidents like cuts and all, for first aid treatment and all, and also small this one. So how many people are taking leave due to some health issues and all? So that will also be indicator that the company is not able to provide a proper ergonomic work, the overload and all, they are not able to properly reduce it. Next, sickness and absenteeism. We also look at the absenteeism. If the number of absenteeism is very high in the contract worker or in a particular department, then you can justify that due to that hard excess work or excess load in that place, something is happening. The number of complaints about working conditions. The number of complaints about working conditions means if too many work, all the people have started complain, the complaint box or suggestion box, if it is increasing, that's also a bad indicator. The number of workers leaving employment due to physical and emotional stress, how many people are coming, so what is the permanent employee strength, so what is the how the people are staying for so many days, all these things will create a promote a positive health and safety culture. Okay, so these are meant by your indicators. So hope everybody got what are indicators of organization's health and safety culture.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely clear.
Yes, sir. Clear. Absolutely.
Right. Now tell me, what is the indicator for knowing whether everybody is understood in this class or not? See, I'll tell you again. What is the indicators? Just it's exercise. Don't think I'm really asking. What is the indicator? Suppose you're the lecturer. Okay, we are all listening. All of you think that you're in my position for time being. What are the indicators that you think that will help me to understand whether every student is properly listening and understanding? So what would be the indicators?
Sir, actually indicator means seeing that how physical thing is to be seen in the
Yes.
company, like in the company, that how many accident incident occurring in the company, like this.
Okay. So now I'm asking you simple question. What are the
Yes, sir.
indicators in this present class? Suppose you are a lecturer and you are trying to take a class, tutor, whatever it is. Sorry, not lecturer, you call tutor. So we were a tutor and you're trying to teach some students. So how do you know what are the indicators? Means what are the things, indications that you can feel? What are the things that you can look at it? Look at those things that will tell you whether people are really understanding and people are really able to get what you're trying to say. So what indicators will judge whether the whatever you're trying to say is actually truly reflecting with the students or not? Give me some 2 or 3 examples. Anyone? You got my point now, all of you? My point, did you get it? You're not interacting. This batch is not interacting. All of you. You're waiting for January 8th, that's all.
Sir, there is.
Okay. I will tell you. Don't worry. So now suppose suppose there is a strength of 20 class, 20 people in this class. There is, for example, yeah,
All of them are replying you
correct.
that they are knowing well
Yes. If
and
you
questioning
one minute.
between the
1 minute. First, we'll one by one you come. You're trying to say very good. One by one. First thing is that if everybody is trying to participate, that's called participation.
yes sir.
Yes. First
Yes
one.
sir, yes.
First indicator is participation. Second one is
And questioning to you
yes. Very good. If people have started questioning,
and replying
yes, and replying
you to
questions.
they are knowing well.
Correct. That is the indicator. Yes. How many people are actually asking questions and trying to understand this one? Okay. So that is the second indicator.
They are showing their interest.
Yes.
How
That
much
is the
people are showing their interest.
how many? Yes. The third indicator is that suppose there is a class strength of 25 people and only suppose only 10 people or 5 people are only present. So that shows that people are, that's the indicator that whether somebody is interested or not. Fourth point is that how many people are time frame. Some people will stay for the entire length. Some people will just come and see for attendance and they'll go away. So it's about the interest. Next is the language barrier. How many people are able to understand the language? That is the indicator. So all these things we have to write it in a piece of paper to make sure that one control after control you will take care. So with respect to, yes, that is how indicators will help us to do that. So, as I said, the first one is participation. Asaji, you told about participation. So only, for example, out of the 17 people who are now there, only 5 are participating. So it doesn't mean that other 12, it doesn't mean that sometimes indicators also will give you a wrong picture. So why? Because it doesn't tell you that what are the hidden things. Like suppose all the other 12 people may not have a proper surrounding environment to make them talk, like disturbance, too much of disturbance or something which they are not able to discuss. Some people may not be able to even some people really they may keep that they may keep this particular lecture near the wall so that the wall will be listening and I will telling to the wall and they will not be this one. So that can also be an indication. So there are different ways to understand whether a particular student is able to understand the class or not. That is called indicators. Yes, sir. Yeah. Very good. So hope Mustafa ji, Syed, Shahab, Asa, Gulam ji, everybody got it. Na? Asa ji, very good. It's a very good.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Very good. What we can say answer. Very good. Yeah. Right.
Yes, sir. But the another example is traffic lights. You can control some traffic, green,
Yes.
yellow, and
Yes. There are thousands of examples. Why I am trying to say, na, see, once you get into the position of giving examples, na, your brain will start immediately working. Yeah, that's what. So
Sir,
very good.
the traffic lights example are not related to your question.
See, in the traffic light, the controls. So the control that is automated, okay, the number of seconds that a green light should be there, the number of, so during the peak hours, sometimes what happens, na, you try to change that control pattern, how it should be and all. So otherwise that can lead to.
Sir, you ask about our class. You question about our class.
No. Yes, correct, sir. But what Shahab is saying, whether the
sir,
traffic
it's just an
lights,
example, sir. It's
example
just an
is saying,
example.
is just an example, not about class. अरे आसाद जी का कोई क्लास में रेड लाइट ग्रीन लाइट में लगा के so if that is also so that control is also is there, we can do it. I'll tell you. Suppose there is a provision.
Yes,
Now
sir.
1 minute, let me discuss this. You can keep your mic on.
Yes,
That is
sir.
also whatever Sahib Kalali said is also true to our class also. For suppose in this particular teams meeting, you give
Yes,
you're
sir.
given an option to say thumbs up and all, no? Emojis you're trying to say, all of you. When I say sometimes when you cannot
Yes, sir.
speak, you are able to provide the emojis. Emojis will give you like thumbs up, the very good claps and all. So all those things you're trying to give. Similarly, you can have one more emoji also, like a red light, green light. If everybody presses the green light, which means that I'm able to tell properly. If you press red light, that is indication to me that that's not correct. You can also do that, no? Now, are you able to get what is indicator? So indicator can be anything. It should guide us. That's all.
Sir, I don't have these
Right. Okay. Right. Now we know what is a safety culture. So culture, we know that it is a set of value systems, behaviors and all. Right. Now we will come to improving health and safety culture. Improving health and safety culture. Improving health and safety culture. How do you improve health and safety culture? These are the things that we'll study. You know what is a culture. You know what are the indicators. Now we'll see how to improve. How to improve. Now, first thing is that promoting health and safety standards by leadership, example and disciplinary procedures. See, whenever you are trying to implement a system, we should always have leadership qualities. People who are actually the leaders, they drive things on how things should move. Sometimes when we keep some systems, people will not follow. When people will not follow, what you will do? We will take disciplinary actions. Disciplinary means we will try to first tell him why you are not doing. So then we'll try to counsel him. Then we'll try to train him. Then we'll try to retrain him. Then again give him guidance on the job. Still, if he is not performing, then we'll go for this one. First, initially there will not be any major action. So that will be only counseling part. So if the person doesn't change after so many things, then they'll be changing over the department, or he will be told to go outside or whatever it is. So that is called disciplinary procedures. That is also sometimes called consequence management. You can say the outcome of not following a proper required disciplinary standards, set standards in the company. So if somebody is not following a standard, there is a chance that he will also get injured, and he may also keep the other co-worker into the same risk of getting injured. So that cannot happen. So in the context of creating the required culture of required environment of damaging this one, which can also have impact on other people. So this disciplinary procedures are come into this. So personal leadership is very, very important, because your actions, behaviors, okay, discuss. See, top management is there. If the top management, you know that when the top management comes, the actual MD or something, everybody will be interested to meet him, because he's the one who is giving money. He's the one who defines how the business should move. He's the one who actually has got a very close association. So when the person comes and talks with the workers, when the talks with the managers, he moves around the into the organization by walking across all the process and trying to interact with each other. So that is called personal leadership. So that is also called walking the talk about OHS. So they may ask workers whether are you getting good PPs, how are you feeling, are you feeling safe, all those things. So that is called personal leadership, right? Yeah. So that is how we need to. The second way of improving culture is that competent workers. Means what is meant by competency? What is meant by competency?
Competency mean if someone is certified with some institute or having some codes, competition code, mean certification, that he's a competent person.
Yes. So competency means,
Sir,
yeah, tell me.
Sir, the skillful persons.
See, competency means having both knowledge and skill.
And
Okay,
Yes,
knowledge,
sir. The knowledgeful and skillful
skillful. Both you
persons.
should. So it does mean that you should have a theoretical understanding of a subject and a practical application of that subject. That is what called
Yes, sir.
competency is. So then you can say you're competent. For example, tomorrow you are joined as a safety officer, and you are very good in theory part and all. For example, I'm just giving you picked up the knowledge about that fire extinguishers. For example, you picked up so much of knowledge, and you know. And you talk about to the workers in the company about how to operate that in a classroom, like how to lift that fire extinguisher, how to operate, how to bend it, what are the different points you need to check in fire extinguishers, and how to actually understand the different codes in the fire extinguisher. So you may have a extensive knowledge under which international standard those codes will come. Okay, how many types of fire? You may be having 100% knowledge about the fire extinguishers without any doubt. But suddenly, if somebody asks you, please, can you operate the fire extinguisher? But practically, if you're not able to operate or demonstrate, which means that you're highly knowledgeable, but skill is not there. So until unless skill is also present, you cannot have a logical conclusion for any activity. So knowledge and skill should go hand in hand. So skill is a practical and demonstration of what understanding you have. So skill, if you don't have skill, it becomes very difficult to pursue your knowledge. So that will just like a something like storing your data. That's a, if you have a pen drive and you keep store some 100 movies, and you know for the next 10 years you will not see. Most of the people do that nowadays. You see, they take so many photos. If you go, you see outside, after the mobile has come, everybody will start taking pictures, thousands of pictures every day, and they will just store it. That's all. They will never even see it also. They will not see even 10% of their photos in their lifetime. Only they will just see for a moment and close it. But that is a human this one related this one. Okay, we should be understanding, right? So hope I given my point clear, right?
Sure, sir.
Yes,
Sure.
sir.
Yeah. So competency means having both knowledge and skill when doing activity. Suppose a person, so typically workers, see, it is actual this people who are in the level of contract workers and all, they are very skillful in executing, but they may not be able to know why exactly it is being done like this only. So if you add some knowledge to their work, they become more known, and they will also able to help you in understanding risks, hazards, and all. That place will become more accident or incident free, because you are trying to add a person who gives has a hands-on experience. Then if, typically managers and all, they are more into this theoretical part. I mean, they have got knowledge-based decisions. So knowledge-based decisions and skill-based decisions, both if they interact with each other, then definitely you'll have a very good culture developed in the company. So that is why competency, regular trainings is very, very important. Regular training. If a worker knows about the quality of their product, what they are producing, how it is impacting the society, then definitely he will also come to know that the importance, and he will also start working in a way, emotional attachment and all, right? Nah? So that is why knowledge and skill both should go hand in hand. Yeah. Right? Nah?
yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Suppose a person is carrying a box very carefully. His job is to move the box from this side to that side. So he is executing his job very skillfully. But he never asked a question, what is it inside and all, which means that he's not interested to learn what is that box and all. So if he suddenly knows that inside there is a gold that is moving every day, so his thought will immediately change, right? So and his physical senses or his mental senses towards that box will immediately change. So his way of touching or acting will completely change from that moment of time, because he is processing would. So it's not exactly a knowledge. I mean, a example of skill and knowledge, but I'm trying to say, if you know what it is happening, then you will also, your perception also will change and you can actually add some value to the work which you're already doing. So this is about your perceptions and this one, right? So Sayedji, you got this one? Competency means?
Yeah, I got, sir.
Okay.
Sir, can we take a break?
Yeah. So now it is 7:25, means it is 6:55 as per Pakistan time. By 7:20, everybody assemble. 7:20.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
As per Pakistan time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hope everybody got it, na?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah. By 7:20 as per Pakistan time. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Camila Saran
Oh, Mustafa Khana. Mustafa. Oh, Mustafa.
Yes, I'm listening. Yes.
Mustafa Shere Mustafa. Mustafa Masida.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Chere ye.
This time I will be a Khan.
Oh dear, you are in the Khana. Huh?
Yes.
Oh, Mustafa Khana.
Yes.
Mustafa Khana ka dena lagi. Chere ye.
Wrong say.
Acha badi Khan she.
Mm-hmm.
Acha changre siyata bata shadai.
Hello.
Here the class tarusa.
Aha, Mustafa Khana.
Tarsila
Brother.
tarusa.
Na kala
Hello.
sotat lalai kana.
जी sir.
हाँ जी जी हाँ मुस्तफा भाई मुस्तफा
Asif
भाई
sahab, laptop
हाउ
the
आर यू जी
Asif sahab,
Here ring.
laptop ਦੀ ਭੇਣ ਚ ਵੜ ਗਿਆ ਅੱਜ
हाँ मुस्तफा तर غير रदग देख पला जामा को
देखा हेल्मी वगैरह था वो कसं
चंगरे
लोक काही वगैरह था
हाँ मुस्तफा को हाँ
मी वगैरह था वो कल मी
المين خام خاور تا وکا ودا او بیا چټه میرن ناوزی
20 बंदे
7:20 مونده اچھا باشه دا چې نمل چې زده کړه دي شي دا وس پکم کیم چپټر شه لګیا دي په دریم شه الیمنٹ 3 شه راوون دي کا 4 چي دي
3.2 से
ها
3.2 चैप्टर दाई
3.2 کنه
यस
بابه 3.2 کنه
यस
شاده فدا پای تخپل هغه مصطفی پای خپل هغه ک بیا جامه سره کی
ओके थैंक यू Hello, hi Hassan. Hello, Asad. Asad, are you listening me? Asad, hello, Asad, are you listening me?
Yes. Shall I start?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You may start, sir.
Yeah. So hope I was discussing about two things for the people who have joined slightly late. I was discussing about two things. Hope everybody is listening, na? Because I am not able to get the answers. Now please listen again. So communication. So we are discussing how to improve health and safety culture. That is what we are discussing. There are two ways of communication. See, we are trying to understand. Once again, I am saying how to develop health and safety culture. First thing is that we need to have a very good personal leadership. That is first thing. Say, what is the second thing? We need to have what? Can anybody tell me? First thing is leadership. What is the second thing? Competent workers. Competence among the workers should be high. Second thing. The third thing we are discussing about proper communication. How to improve the proper communication. So communication flows to two ways. One is information and another is instruction. So information is about, the purpose of information is to create an awareness about health and safety. Okay, so it is meant to improve your safety and health performance in the organization. So like that is information. Instruction means it is meant to control the behavior of workers or any staff or whatever it is. So it is a instruction means like policies, procedures, rules. You have to follow. There is no second question about it. Okay, awareness means you will just understand why it something like it, and you leave and try to see if that can be done or not. So you're given some flexibility to understand, unlike instruction. So this information is different, instruction is different. So I asked you one example. Let us assume that you come across a accident scenario in one company. Accident. There is a recent accident in one other company which is close to you, and they've given what are the action plans they have taken after the accident and all. So what you do is that you bring that report and circulate it to all the employees so that they can relate it to their company. So what you are trying to provide? Are you trying to provide instruction or information? Yes. No, I'm not getting Gulam Ishaq ji. Yeah. You're trying to say something. Anybody else is there? Shahrukar, Sahib Khalil, Pir Junaid, Quaizer Shah. Other people are not even responding. I don't know why.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm
Yes,
asking
sir.
you.
Yes, sir. Sir, we are here listening
No.
your lecture, sir.
Yeah, you're listening, but I'm asking you. I want an answer. So I've given you a. So no, at least somebody should respond. No, that's what at least one can respond, whoever it is. So I'm asking you because that this is supposed to be an interactive session. Otherwise, I can record it and send it. Na? One day I can sit all the recording sessions and I can keep it. Na? Why I should repeat it? So because every batch is different, every person is different, every human psychology is different. So that is why it's a matter of interaction with everyone. If nobody is interacting, then I can record it and send it. Na? The later on, I can keep one class where I can say that I'll ask questions and answers. That's all. Yeah. So information and instruction, I'm talking about information and instruction communication. So that is very important that you need to understand the difference between information and instruction. Hope I've already told you the fourth type. I'm not going to tell now, right? Now coming to the barriers to effective. What is meant by a barrier? Something that stops you to communicate. Suppose I'm trying to communicate with you. Now I'm doing an instruction process or I'm trying to give you information. I'm trying to give information. I'm trying to increase your awareness. I'm not telling you should follow this and all, right? Of course, these things will be after you join a company, then you will be clear what is information, what is instruction. Now, when I'm trying to let us do an exercise. So, trying to provide you information. So, what are the different things that can go wrong? I mean, what can be a barrier? Barrier means that can cause interference. Now, you tell me when I'm trying to speak with you, okay, regarding this one, when I'm trying to give you some information, what can go wrong? I mean, what are the barriers? What are the interference that can happen so that my communication is not effective? So now you tell me one by one. So you do that exercise. Okay, so what I'm saying is that I'm trying to give you information through this class. That is I'm trying to provide you knowledge, awareness and knowledge and all. So while I'm trying to justify this through this particular class in the form of mic, there is also you will try to understand from the other side, right? So I don't know. I think that I'm trying to speak out good as far as I'm concerned, but I cannot see what is happening on the other side. Na? So there are different things that can interact or interfere with the flow of this information and it can lead to barrier. Barrier means something that stops. So now tell me, what are the different barriers to effective communication? One, noise. Suppose you are all sitting in a noisy environment. You are all sitting in a noisy environment. So as that will not be a problem to me because you will always keep your mic under mute. So only when it opens only that will be a noise to me. But it is always a continuous disturbance to all of you. Means you try to somehow balance this disturbance in class. In between you come across when I ask second question somewhere, so you will not able to completely get information what you are trying to understand. So it is a time waste actually. So when you're not able to get it information in proper way, it lead to that one. So noise is a distraction that happens. Next one, sensory impairment. Means I'm trying to relate everything. Poor hearing, because suppose the earphones what you're keeping or the voice that I'm trying to speak out, uska pitch wavelength, the even the phones or the mobiles or the laptop whatever you're using, uska output is not clear. The noise output. So you are trying to hear my voice in a way that disturbs you, or it is something very more pitchy and not so mellifluous. Then you will not hear it also. You will sometimes stop in between and try to ensure that attendance is there and all. Okay. Next, complexity. Complexity means the easiness with which you can understand. Suppose if I am trying to give more examples, then you will understand more things. If you just study something and go off, that becomes complex. And also language barrier also is a complex problem because you cannot try to this one. See, language of the speaker. I'm trying to speak in English. If somebody is not good in English, good in the sense means they are not having a English as their first language during, it takes some time for them to pick it up. So during the entire class, some points or some sentences may become difficult. So that is a problem to the communication. Next, illogically presented. Illogically means this is a safety class. And whatever example I should give, it should link to this particular element, the three. If I start giving examples that doesn't suit you, this one I start talking about history, geography, physics and all. No? So that is a information, good information, but illogic to this present circumstances. Ambiguity. Ambiguity means you cannot say yes or no to a particular sin. I mean, you're not able to exactly get it. So that's called ambiguity. There are, so either it can happen that way or this way. So you will get you will process two informations from a single context. So that's called ambiguity. Use of technical and local terms. See, when I said PPE, okay, I said alarm. All these things are acronyms for safety, like as low as reasonably possible, PPE and all. So if I don't expand that during my initial time, so that will not be understood by you. You will also feel that it's not comfortable. So you may try to do that. The timeliness of the communication. The timeliness means at what time you are trying to provide the communication. I tell that this class should be there from the morning midnight 1 o'clock to morning 4 o'clock or morning 5 o'clock. Who will attend? Nobody will attend. So there should be proper standard for it. Lengthy communication methods means if this class is there for 20, you are supposed to have ideally 24 hours class. 24 hours would complete the course. Suppose I take one day, full day and complete it. Will it provide the necessary information? No. Inattention of the person. So that is the most normal thing that happens, because other side I don't know what to say. So there was a problem with, if it is offline, I can see if you are trying to have some disgusting. So your body language will give you me an idea whether you are really interested or not. See, interest means it's not that if I'm not able to properly present also, your brain will not accept. So that creates inattention. So I'll ask him what is the problem, and he keeps saying that no, sir, you're going too fast. That's why I'm not able to attend properly. So I thought that it's better not to listen. So then those are the things that it will make me attentive again in a proper way. So if the other person is not inattentive, like you, I don't know what you are there with. Like I can say that some people are sitting, some are sleeping. I mean, they're in a complete this one. Okay, some are listening carefully. Some are, so there are different poses. If everyone sends a picture immediately, you will have different human forces that will be coming up. So that's because we are trying to adjust our muscular system to a comfort zone. Because until unless we got an ergonomic chair and ergonomic table, we cannot sit for long hours. So we try to adjust in between, which is also required for the body to properly do that. So this, if you don't adjust, it lead to inattention and all. Next, lack of trust or respect. Suppose you don't trust this subject at all, if you don't have a passion for understanding this subject, or if you are just taken only for the purpose of completion, and you don't have a proper trust about this subject, then that will also lead to ineffective communication. You cannot do that. Next, capabilities of the person receiving the information to understand due to reduced health, fatigue, stress. Suppose you are all working for morning 6 to 6, and so after that you are listening to this class. How can you listen? Your brain will not allow you. You will sleep in between. In between, when I ask some question, you will say yes and will try to answer. So all these things will happen. These are part and parcel of your barriers to effective communication. All these things should be checked in the risk assessment, and you should be able to provide a proper communication, because in a classroom like this, it may not have an impact, because you may get the video and you can see and you can reorganize whatever you are not able to understand. So that can be, there is a time to understand. But in industries, you don't get a second time or second chances. So once a particular product passes through something that not and where communication has failed, and the product has not passed through its required channel, and the product loses its quality check, the product is lost again. So which means money is lost, right? In the processing, in the raw material, in the final, we cannot sell it. So that will have an impact. So ineffective communication in industries are dangerous, because that can even lead to accidents also. Why? That is the reason I'm telling you, communication is the most important thing. Tomorrow, when you join any company as a safety officer, they will not, everybody will having capacity to work. But the only thing that differentiate between everyone is that they will closely observe you, how well you are able to communicate with your peers, with your juniors, with your seniors, with the workers, with the staff, with the higher ups, everything. So everybody looks at your communication channel. If that is not good, it is very difficult to gain trust or respect. When you don't gain trust, people will become inattentive to you. When they become inattentive, everything that you present become illogical. When everything become illogical, you try to change your subject, making it more complex. So the more complexity will actually create increases the timeliness of the communication. So everything is interlinked to each other. So we need to have a proper communication. So the communication is one of the important thing in having a good health and safety culture. If you don't have a proper communication channels in any company, then the company is not having a good system that can be taken. So many times I go for audit and I see when I ask something, the manager will ask his boss, junior, visit there. He doesn't know that that is there, and that the other. So whatever he knows, he doesn't know. Whatever he knows, he doesn't know. So both are in the same department. So it means that they are not collaborating. They are not cooperating. They are not compromising. So they're just compromising on things. That's all. Right. So it should not be like that. Okay. So hope everybody got now what is the barriers to effective communication. Right. Have you got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. Tomorrow, at
Yes,
least,
sir.
tomorrow, I require all of you to participate in that risk assessment process. Because until unless you process tomorrow, if at least half of the class is not responding, I will close the class. I'm telling you tomorrow, because it is a exercise that you should be providing with ideas and all. I'll tell you tomorrow 6 p.m. when you start that risk assessment process at 6:15. We'll try to do that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. So what are the three things till now we have studied are important for this one, this improving health and safety culture? What are the three things that we have studied? Subhanallah ji, tell me, what are the three things that are necessary to have a proper health and safety culture? What are the things that you need to do that? What are the three things that are studied for improving health and safety culture? What are the three things that we discussed till now?
شهابه برو سر سوای ما ته په پښتو کې وایي زه به
Arey
تاسو ته
boss,
جواب
okay.
درکړم.
No, thank you. Sorry for disturbing. Whether you're scolding me, whether you're trying to say something to me, I'm not able to understand. So please talk in English or don't talk. Okay. So because I cannot communicate, because I'm not able to understand. So if you are able to speak in English, only speak. Otherwise, don't speak. No problem at all.
Sir, my English is not strong.
Okay, no problem. Right. Anybody else can give that. What are the three things that are necessary as we have studied to improve the
Sir,
health
the first one is to improve health and safety culture. Second one is the effective communication. And
No, I'm asking.
sir, the third one is
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Please tell me. Yeah.
Yes, sir. What you asking, sir?
No. Continue. Don't. Yeah.
Yes, sir. The third one is competent worker.
Very good. Yes, you got it. Yeah. Very good. Yes. So one is personal leadership. You should display leadership. When you are leader, only
Yes,
people
sir.
will follow you, no? Right.
Yes, sir.
So when you people feel that you are a leader, then only they will listen to you. Otherwise,
Yes,
if you
sir.
don't have any, because see, even in our society also, we create within our brain that a person is very special, is very important. So we develop ourselves. Then only our body reacts to it, saying that yes, he is important and we need to respect and this one. And you need to have a display leadership skills. Okay. Next is your competency of workers. Third is the communication. These are the three things that we have studied till now to improve health and safety culture. Okay. Mr. Mohammed
Sir, I have a question.
Mohammed Umarji, please tell me. I'm very happy.
Sir, don't mind, but my English is weak, so I am trying to telling a better English.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, tell me barriers to effective communication. The first one is noise and other similar distraction.
So what?
Sir, please tell me this line. I don't understand to this line.
Which one? Noise and other similar distractions. Yes, na?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Please mute your art.
And fourth one is language and
Okay, I got it.
signal issue.
Okay.
Language dialect of the speaker.
Yes.
This one and the first one, sir.
Okay. Right. So you asked what is the first one and second one. See, noise. Noise. Suppose you want to speak something in a. Suppose you are a presenter. You are being told to present a particular presentation in any language. Whatever, it's not about English, any language. So you're very good in. So whenever I'm trying to speak, you are opening your mic. That means that is a noise. You're creating noise. That is creating a disturbance to me. You're not trying to listen.
Yes.
Right, na? So whenever अरे मोहम्मद उमर जी आप अपना माइक मत ऑन कर दीजिए. Because there is a lot of disturbance that is coming from your end. So those disturbances are due to improper mic, improper signals, a lot of other external disturbances, all those things. That is the reason we need to have a proper this one, at least a good earphones and all will suffice that. Okay, whatever it is. Now the second one you asked about the barrier, noise and other similar distraction. Because if there is a noise, we cannot speak. I myself, I am in my room, I ensure that not even a speck of sound comes. That is because I am the tutor. If there is a disturbance around me, I cannot present, because for everything, not only my words, the sounds around me also counts, because those will also travel along with my words and it will reach you. It will reach you. It will reach you. So when it reaches, okay, so you will also feel a distraction happening apart from my voice, or apart from my words, or apart from a communication, whatever you say. If any other thing that happens, anything that happens is a distraction. Okay, so that is why noise is one of the most fundamental thing. Like you are a tutor in a in a school, you are going to a school as a teacher, and you see a lot of disturbance. The school is right away to the highway. Whenever you are trying to present to the children, you get a lot of noise from the highway, so you will also get irritated, because you are not able to showcase your information or try to project your information in a way that they require. So noise is a very important barrier. So many people, when there is a noise, they stop and go away. Stopping. So very important information can sometimes be compromised when there is a noise. Okay. So and other similar distraction. Distraction means when you have got when your brain wavers here and there, that is a distraction. Suppose you are trying to listen to this class. Suddenly somebody in your family comes and they want to talk with you for some urgent reason. So that's a distraction. Anything that is not making you to properly listen to something is a distraction, right? So it can be external noise, it can be internal noise, or it can be some internal this one. Okay, suppose most of the people here, you are there, आपका fan sound भी बहुत sound आता है. Even the fan, even now I don't switch on the fan. Because why? Because even the fan sound I don't want you to hear. I want only my voice to be here. So I do a lot of checking with other people before I get into this class, because it's responsibility to if I start having background music and somebody singing, somebody dancing, then that's are all distractions. Suppose, okay, suppose there is a TV going in your room, and you are trying to look at this, you want to have my class, and also you want to follow the serial also, a TV serial. So that is a distraction, right? So all these things are very, very important. Then that is why this communication in industries is very, very important, right? So in the form of distraction. The fourth point you asked about language and dialect. So I asked a question about to Subhanallah ji, that he may be understanding what I'm asking, but he's not able to say, because there is a problem with his saying about in English. That's what he's trying to say. He says that he understands everything. So, but we should also try to communicate, because tomorrow exam, it has to be written in English. So we should also try to do that. So that is important. So that is a barrier to effective communication. Tomorrow, if a manager calls him and tells him to please write SOP in English. Okay, so that or try to so English has become very common language, right? Right. If there is another language like Urdu or Pashtun, whatever, then it would be an easier to you, right? Sometimes the language will become a barrier. Sometimes it may not. If almost 90% are people listening to the same language, then it can be easily understood. So always, you should always choose the barrier, language barrier, not to be a problem. So if suppose if in industry, it is accepted that whatever language you know is a around 80% can understand, then it is a very good communication. So you understand, na? So it all depends upon the way you do that. So don't worry. So that's what I'm saying you. Whenever something that we find a problem, it will be a distraction to the person, to the other person, and also to the classroom also, right? Similarly, the same thing happens. I've also seen many people, when I go for audit, I tell the safety officer to speak something in front of this one. But he is having so much of knowledge, and he's write many procedures and all, and his performance is very good, but he is trying to not able to communicate. He requires a help from this one. So as long as somebody is there to help him up, that is okay. But in terms of necessary requirement, urgent communication or emergency things that you need to communicate to the outside, that is where the problem actually happens. So always it should be ensured that our mode of communication, whether we are suitable in that particular organization context or not, it has to be very, very careful, right? And also see, any language is not a barrier. Okay, so English is the most easiest language, to be precise, of all the languages. I've seen many people getting a good hold of English within 6 months also. Very good hold. So they can reach to certain standards within 3 months. So, I mean, if you start trying to write sentences and all, you'll be able to picturize what it is there. So at least from some 10 to 20, you can reach 50% with 20 days, 30 days. And that's what I mean. You have to do a lot of work in order to do that, right? So anyway, those are the two things I wanted to tell you. Communication barrier, there can be many things, two barriers to effective communication. Why? Because tomorrow, as a safety officer, you are supposed to communicate with many people. It can be your officers, it can be your managers, or it can be workers, or whatever it is. So you should know how to communicate. Got it, na, Mr. Muhammad Omarji? Yes. Okay, got it. Gulamji, you want to speak something? Your mic is on.
No, sir. It's automatically on.
Automatic clearer. Okay, keep your mic under off. Okay. Now there are three communication methods: verbal, written, and graphical. Verbal means, as I said, dialect and language required. In written communication, you also require a dialect and a language. But in graphical communication, we don't require a language. It is through signages, charts. So that is the reason a company which is very good in visual signages, then it can be easily understood by everybody. It can be. So if you see, can you tell me what is the first thing? Danger. So what type of communication is that?
It's a graphic, sir.
Sir, it's graphical communication.
So everybody, irrespective of language, whether you know that language, everybody can understand. So that is why signages have become important in the world now. So we are all only taking English as standard, but there are, if you go to European countries or some countries, there are people who doesn't even know even a bit of English also. So they don't want, because their culture, as per their culture, the language what they learned is better. So these signages are important thing that will help us to understand certain words, certain sentences. Like if you see the danger sign, high voltage sign. So for a person who doesn't know English, it is not at all required to read danger or high voltage. So he can understand that the red signal, the red sign, or the red tells us that something danger is there. And the symbol, the lightning symbol, tells us that it is some high voltage that is going on there. So immediately he will himself get corrected. So you see traffic signals, green light, red light, orange light. So anybody there, when the red light comes, irrespective of a person is knows English or not, he will stop, because that is understood universally by everybody. So that is why signages are called universal language, because anybody can understand. So if you are able to give signals, suppose in the traffic, if you remove the traffic lights and keep one police officer there, and he will shout on a mic in his own language. Okay. stop, go, stop. Can anybody think about the complexity of the information that is going at the traffic junction? If somebody is on the mic, that is why in the traffic signal, traffic junctions and all, nobody will talk. They will only show signals, either it is light or some other stick or whatever it is. So only the visual signals can sometimes help, because when many people are present in an organization, you cannot have a written or verbal communication to much extent. Of course, it will also there, but graphical methods like your signages plays a vital role. So that is a easily understand. So I've seen many companies where it is also scientifically proved that there are many studies have been done that a company which have signages across the company to give some information to the workers, that company is actually performing better in safety standards. So it has nothing to do with the language there. So language barrier will not happen when you got good signages. So that is why it's called a visual company. A company which invests more in providing proper signages at required places and in required operations will definitely have an impact on the safety, and their investment will definitely yield a result in high safety standards. Hope everybody got it with respect to the graphical communication. Now coming to the second one, it is written communication. So we have to study. We have to study. And after studying, you have to understand. So it also depends upon how the interpreter or the person listening. So after I study something, my interpretation may be different. Your interpretation may be different. Next is your this one. What?
Verbal, sir. Verbally communication.
Verbal. Verbal means discussing. Suppose in that people, if one person is not is having some German language. You see, if you go to Germany, people they don't know English at all. They will only speak in German, whether you like it or not. Chinese, they'll speak in Chinese. So every country has its own. So, but some countries, they are also having everything apart from English. So unfortunately, we don't have Nebosh in your language, right? So similarly, some companies they also have people they will also write what are the languages they can, so that they have interpreters and all. Okay, so that's the thing, right? So these communication methods like notice boards, moving image media, poster campaigns, toolbox talks, electronic messages, worker handbooks, all these things. Next, if you see
Sir, I
this,
have a question.
please tell me. Yes, sir, I'm listening. Sir, tell your question.
Sir, I work a company. Okay.
Okay.
And the radiation signal, where I use the radiation signal.
Okay.
So the danger place are where about using.
So you're asking that you're working in some medical diagnostic lab. Because radiation means you will have in hospitals and all, no? MRI, CT scan and all. So I'm expecting that you're yeah. Correct, na, Muhammad Umarji?
Yes, I understand, sir.
Yes, there you might have also, everyone might have gone to that hospitals. Na? That time when you go for, if you take any patient like MRI scan or CT scan, there you see the radiation symbol is provided. Why? Because when you operate these machines, there is a radiation that comes out. That radiation is very dangerous because the radiation can destroy the human cells. Once they destroy the human cells, that can lead to very, I mean, it can lead to development of cancers and all. I mean, just 1 or 2 times it will not happen. But if somebody is regularly exposed continuously by 24 hours, then after so many years it will come. Aisa nahi. So this radiation symbol will help everyone to take controls. So they will ensure that they will far off, and so that is the reason they will not allow, except the patient, they will not allow other people to get into these areas because it is a high prone radiation area. Correct, no, Umarji?
Yes, sir.
Right. So that is how you have to understand. See, yes, sir. Somebody is trying to ask something. Right. Okay. So any doubts? So this is with respect to the communication, right? Health and safety notice board. You see poster campaign. So there is one right side picture. Safety suggestion scheme. It is to motivate workers. So if the workers have some any idea, they can drop that particular letter indicating what improvement can be done. So this is a very good initiative, and it is a very bottom to top approach. This is called, because you are taking the views of worker. So when this box is filled, every 15 days or 30 days they will remove, and the management will have internal discussions on that, and that safety suggestion scheme will be a part of that, right? So another this one is toolbox talks. So you know what is meant by toolbox talks? Have anybody heard? Yes, some people who are working in industries, they may come across this word called toolbox talk.
Toolbox talk is a safety meeting. We conduct it before starting activity.
Absolutely correct, sir. Absolutely correct. So these are your short messaging sessions that you conduct before start of this, right? So yes, sir. So you've seen toolbox talk happening every day, right? Na? You come across these things since you're working, right? Na?
Yeah.
Can you give some more justification? I mean, can you expand your explanation so that, yeah.
In toolbox talk, we aware them about hazards and tell them the precautions that how we will take a control on it. If we are performing, for example, excavation, then we tell them all hazard related to excavation.
Very good, sir. So you are into now, I think you are into construction field, right?
Yeah, I'm in construction field. Yeah.
Okay. Very good, sir. Thank you, Mr. Syed Mir Abbas ji, for giving me some time to sit down without opening my mouth. Right. So why that word? Very good. You have done a wonderful job. Yes. So it is. These are short communication sessions before start of the shift. We try to interact with the workers. Okay. So there are many things. So we talk about the hazards. We talk about the previous shift hazards. We talk about the upcoming hazards. So many things. So why it is called toolbox talks, Syed ji? It can be said as short talks or mini talks or podcast talks. Uh, Now I am not asking. I am asking why it is called this one. I am asking you why this is called toolbox talks. Why the word toolbox has come?
Sir, it's mean that the top management give the advice and guideline to the labor.
So yeah. So right, Asaji, you given a good try. Okay, very good. But the word why it has come, I'll tell you. Okay. So Mr. Syed Mir Abbas, do you want to say something on this before I say, if you, because you, why this word toolbox has come actually? Yeah, I'll tell you. So tool, what is meant by the meaning tool? Tool means it is a tools are the handheld equipment used by the operators to for a electrician. Okay, tester or clamp meter. So there are certain basic things for the tools that becomes priority for them. Okay, for an operator, a fraud, there are certain emergency keys. All those things are become some important tools. Okay, tools are something that help you to do a particular operation of missionary jobs or something. So these tools typically are kept near to the workplace actually, right? Wherever they are working. So previously, when this safety management system is developing some 10 years or 20 years back, they were taking these workers to a this actual toolbox talk started as a shift talks before start of the shift, and they are being called to some this one some room or somewhere, and they started talking. So the changeover process is becoming very difficult from shift to shift, and it is actually creating more problem than actually which should solve. And many people are not interested to have discussion awareness during changeover process. They want the production details because they are going to take the job from the previous person. If any mistake, they will be blaming him and he will be the answerable. So that is why reason what they thought is that this particular toolbox talk should happen on the shop floor itself, near to the place where they keep their tools. Okay, so that when they start taking over the job, the supervisor or somebody will go there and discuss both for the leaving shift and the coming shift people. So they can have a very short discussion for 10 minutes before the actual persons leaves and the new persons near to the tools. Because while they're picking up their tools and all, we can have that discussion. So that is why it is called toolbox talks. So it is at the place of their work that we conduct these things. Correct, na, Syed Mir Abbas ji?
Maybe, sir, I don't have any idea about toolbox. It should be correct. If you are saying it should be
Okay.
correct.
It should be correct, yeah. So I thought that it is okay. So maybe now you are also doing toolbox talks. You are having a lot of skill, but just now you learned about the knowledge part of it, right? No, so now you can understand why the specific word toolbox has given. So it would be more easy and it would be more interesting for you to further track down these toolbox talks and all, right? No? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to say. Next, workers' participation is one of the most important thing. If workers don't participate, okay, we don't develop OSH culture. That's very clear. So workers' participation. If workers are not participating, so I'll just leave it to your thought process. What are the different ways workers can be made to participate? Okay. So one of the important thing that they found a way is to have a committee meeting, safety. So is there a safety committee meeting every quarterly in your workplace, Mr. Syed ji?
Sorry, sir, I didn't get your question.
Is there a safety committee meeting that happens at your workplace every quarter, or is there any other meeting place or meeting schedule about health and safety where we discuss pending near misses or pending action plans on accidents, how to reduce accidents? So these are all the discussions that happen, right, in HSC committee. So is there a safety committee that has formed in your organization?
Yes, sir. We do have a weekly meeting, community meeting about safety, in which we discuss the accidents, near miss reports, and incidents, etc.
Okay. So which means that so every week you are discussing, is it a general department?
Sir, please turn on your mic.
Okay, thank you. I think somebody, right. Why did somebody turn? I didn't do it. Na? How did it happen? So somebody maybe got frustrated with my voice, I think. Right. Maybe I done it, Mike. Right. Those are called subtle, this one, right? Anyway, what I'm trying to say is this particular safety committee. Safety committee in many countries is a legal requirement. Means after every safety committee is completed, you have to write the minutes. Minutes mean what are the discussions that I had in the meeting, and it has to be submitted to both top management and to the nearest factories inspector also. Because factories inspector is very keen and it becomes a legal requirement which is being asked by government agencies whether. So this is an indication. Why? Because safety committee is now very important in the sense that that has to be chaired, means it has to be headed by the chairperson. I mean the topmost person will be chairing this particular meeting. Typically it is done for quarterly. In some companies it is done monthly. Quarterly it is done in some companies, so that for every year there will be 4 safety committee meetings, because the beauty of the safety committee is that half of the, suppose your safety committee is formed with some 30 people, 15 people should be representing management and 15 people should be representing workers. So this is a discussion meeting between workers and the managers, which is properly looked upon by chairperson or the topmost person who is there, and he will also properly report that meeting to their directors and all. So this is a very important thing where trust in people develop, because managers will start believing in workers and workers will start believing in managers. So the safety culture will improve and the safety atmosphere will also improve. That is the reason HSC committees, they are and it is a big, very important, because in every legal requirement, you take any rule, you take any law, you take any this one act, okay, you take any procedure, everywhere it is written to have a HSC committee properly represented. Right? It's not that some few workers, for the namesake, if you have 3 workers and some managers from one department and you write it, aisa nahi hoga. It has to be chaired. Chairperson, minutes should be taken. Workers representative should be there, management people should be there, and it has to be also represented by HSC department also. All the HSC people will always be there because it is their baby, right? So right. So this particular HSC committee is one of the most talked about thing. When somebody goes for audit, they'll first check whether you got good safety committees or not. If you don't have a good safety committee, then it becomes very difficult to move ahead, because you cannot exactly justify a proper communication channel between workers, management and the top management. So safety committees was actually introduced to ensure that the top management person, the management and the this workers, they meet to have a conclusive and accepted. See, when only people meet and discuss over a table, then many things will get cleared. Otherwise, just like that, or he will start saying one thing, he will start saying anything. In between, somebody will take away that, he will try to distort that information. So the actual information will be something different. That is the reason why many people fight. They will not have a culture. So this will have a very important thing, right? So that is the importance. So in Mr. Sayechi, in your company, we said weekly, right? Is it chaired by any top person from the management, or it is only your interdepartmental meet?
Sir, I think HSC committee, they conduct this meeting. HSC OHS manager should be present there in this meeting, and company the foreman who will represent the labors, he will be present, and the top management should be there.
Okay. So if it is happening, very good. So every week, if you are doing it, means it is very serious job and it is taken very seriously by your company, safety and health, right? Na? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is a good indication actually. Yeah. Because I'm not seeing.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
sir, he used the word like foreman. Foreman indicate like supervisor.
No, no. See, actually, foreman, he is a worker's representative. He is just below the
Okay, okay.
supervisor, but above the, he is also graded as a
Worker.
supervisor. He is no, he is the worker's representative. So,
Yes, sir.
so yes, in a company, everybody cannot attend. Suppose you know that among the workers, there will be one experienced worker who knows about the company, and he is he knows and he is very good in talking to management and all. So the typically all the workers will nominate him to represent in their name, so that he will talk for their sake, right? So all workers will not discuss with government and management. They are union leaders and all. That is why we call, they form a group. This one. See, many workers typically, even though they want to say something, they cannot communicate. See, communication is not everybody's cup of cake, right? Some people may have so much of information with them, but sometimes due to some problems and all, they may not able to represent it in a clear way. So the other person who is receiving that, he may not show interest. So that is why they write all the problems and they pick up one nominated person among these people who can speak fluently, who can present properly, not fluently, who can present properly in a fluent way, and the other person can receive that. So that is why the foreman is a one who has a certain control over all the workers there. So if he says something, they can also listen. At the same time, the top management can listen. So that is why workers representatives also play a vital role in the safety and health committees. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sure, sure.
Sir,
Yes. Mohammed Umarji, yeah, tell
sir,
me.
what is the foreman work and what is the supervisor work in the company?
It depends upon to company. You cannot exactly exactly say that, because typically nowadays foreman is a word which is not heard of. They have removed this word and they are keeping senior supervisor and all. So I'm also listening after so many days that foreman is a word that you kept it. So what exactly typically in a normal organization, this is how it looks like. So particular worker now becomes, if he is technically oriented, he will become an operator. A group of operators again specialized to become a foreman actually. So, and supervisor is something who can be taken, either he can be promoted from the worker or he can be taken after he has done some certain degree or something and all, who starts with it based on that. So again, the levels of management and all, they have may got a certain policies, procedures on how to pick up persons and all. So that's until unless until unless I know your organization structure, I cannot exactly comment on that. But this is a general thing that happens.
Sir, foreman is the
Yes, sir.
senior supervisor
One
in
minute, one minute,
Pakistan.
one minute. Yeah, Asatji, tell me.
Sir, foreman is the senior supervisor in Pakistan.
Acha, okay, हो सकता है, maybe.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay,
I am also working in oil field.
okay. So
Yes, sir.
foreman is senior supervisor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so he will be collectively be representing operators and senior operators and supervisors, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So that is how. So exactly I cannot tell that this is the way. It all depends upon. That is why in your organization there is a organogram that they call, who is what, how under whom somebody works, how they are represented. So it will be different to different companies. So I cannot exactly say this is actually this and right. Right. In one of the company I've seen, there are only managers and workers. That's all. There's no supervisor thing. Like immediately, either there are workers and there are senior operators. That's all. Only two categories. And they've got assistant manager, manager, and general manager. That's all. So they're very clear, because it all depends on how minimal you require. Some people have clarity. I mean, it all depends on how their actual main company dictates them to be representing from land to land, from country to country. You may be having a set of guided principles from so many years. So accordingly, they may go. Everything can happen. Right now? Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mr. Syed Mir Abbas, Muhammad Umarji, and Asadji for giving some valuable information to proceed with discussion.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right.
Sir, I have one question more.
Oh, please, please.
Sir, what is the abbreviation of ILO? International Level Organization.
Yes, correct. International Labour Organization. That is what I told you
Sir,
to.
this is, sir,
Yeah, tell me. Sorry, sir. Sorry. So I'm disturbing you. Sorry. Tell me. Yeah,
sir,
Muhammad.
this is the company of the international level company.
Yeah, we don't call it a company. We call it as an organization. That is why it is called ILO, International Labour Organization. So you came across a. Have you heard United Nations? United Nations. So this
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
you have UN agencies, United Nations, because United Nations is formed by top top developed countries like USA, China. There are permanent members to UN: China, Russia, America, okay, and England, UK. All those things will be they formed a agency called the United Nations. So United Nations is the one, it looks over all the world requirements in terms of other many things. Okay, so one of the thing they also wanted that to have a proper health and safety to be properly picked up in all the countries wherever they're there. So that is why they have developed they have created an organization from United Nations agency. They have created an organization called ILO, International Labour Organization. This was actually it is present in Geneva, Switzerland. Okay, so almost all there are 183 member countries. Means all the countries are all members to it. They every year they meet to discuss different problems for different countries and all. So they also make they also insist countries to slowly come up in terms of human index. Human index means the way you value other people, the way you treat them fair on this on morality basis and all. So anyway, there are so many things which we cannot discuss in 5 minutes. So this International Labour Organization actually was started after World War II. So after World War II is completed, many countries they have lost so much amount of this one and everything under mess. So they are trying to redefine their living things standards and all. So many workers, so they when the industry started working, many workers started suffering due to zero welfare measures, zero safety measures, zero. Okay, you need a prayer break. Huh? Okay. So now they require a prayer break. We'll take some 15 minutes will take or 10 minutes will take. 15 minutes, okay? Will not waste that much time. Mr. Syed Mir Abbasi, you can, yeah.
I need at least 10 minutes.
10 minutes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now it is 8:55. As per your time, it is 8:25, right? Na?
Yeah.
So 8:25. You come back by 8:40. Maximum 8:40. You come back by 8:40.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
8:40.
Yeah.
ब्रेक से कैसे खाएगी?
Shahab. Yeah, can we continue?
Sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Now, okay. Now training. Training is very important. Okay. The primary role of training is to promote action. So whenever you're also getting trained in HSC. So what I'm trying to is that I'm trying to stimulate awareness in you. By stimulating awareness, you will be able to understand the knowledge part of it. When you understand the knowledge part of it, then you can adopt it into your own system where you're trying to work. So, okay. Therefore, training is always important to acquire both knowledge and skills. And see, that is the reason everybody closely observes how well you're getting trained. So, training is an integral part of your this one. Now, there is one question that is asked by somebody. I didn't see it. Now I've seen during the break. Mr. Kaiser Shah has asked, what is the difference between accident and incidents? So let me put this first question. Let me complete that. You might have come across this word accident and incident. Accident means anything, any unexpected or unplanned event that happens and it results in injury, it results in accident, or a dangerous occurrence, or any damage to property. All these things are accident. Even the incident also the same meaning. Any unexpected or unplanned. That is what the two words come. Unexpected, because nobody plans an accident, right? So nobody says that today there will be an accident. I will do. Then it becomes a purposeful act. So accident is something defined which is a unplanned and unexpected event that results in major injury, that results in major injury, that results in damage to property, damage to environment, fatality. Okay, major. We can say major first aid. This one requirement. All those things are your accidents. Then what is incident? See, there is a lot of confusion that arises when you're being a safety professional, when you want to have a clear-cut barrier between an accident as an incident. So so to understand that incident also comes from the same definition as unexpected and unplanned. But if you study many books and come to a conclusion, actually there is a small difference between accident and incident. Accident is something that happens at a bigger scale. Something that happens at a minor scale is a incident, like near misses or just misses or small cuts and all. Like for example, you're trying to use a knife for cutting peppers or vegetables in the house. There is a small cut that happens on the finger, right? So you call somebody and say that that I have an accident, please come and all. No. You will try to stop that activity, have a small band-aid, and you will continue the work. So there is an incident that has happened. Incident is something that we try to describe it as a very small, and it does not have a very dangerous consequences. Accident means that will have a outcome as very major. So that is why it's called accident. So there is also a definition called accidents or incidents that result in major injury. Incidents or accidents that result in minor injury. So all near misses typically come under incidents, or major outcomes of accidents, they come under accidents. Okay, major outcomes of injuries, they come under accidents. So am I clear, Kaiser Shah? Okay. So I think you got a problem with the mic. That is why you're not able to speak out. So you can, yes, you said.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is the difference. Very good question. Difference between accident and incident. So all near misses are termed as incidents. So they cannot term as accident, right? Right. You're walking on a road. You're walking on some road and you see two big vehicles. Okay, trying to hitting each other. Okay, there is a collision between a truck and a jeep or van, whatever you see. You call that as accident or incident?
Accident, sir.
The accident, because that it happened at a bigger scale. Definitely, even though there would be no incident, there would be no person injured or something. Definitely, there is going to be a major impact on the persons who has undergone this, because they will also be see, in major accidents, the people come across a syndrome called PTSD syndrome, post-traumatic distress syndrome. Okay, so PTSD. So what happens is that in PTSD, people when they're even though they come outside without any scratch in a major accidents, but the amount of disturbance that it has created to the brain can result in long nightmares, okay, while sleeping, and it can lead to sleepless nights, I mean, very horrible dreams and all. And they will start shouting in the this one, and they will become depressed. So there will be a sea change in the way they have adopted their themselves. So that was called PTSD syndrome. So it is very important that people who are coming out of major accidents and they recover, they have to be given so much of space, courage, and he should be properly treated, right? That's called PTSD. Anyway, we'll discuss that. It is also discussed in our element, okay, psychological elements when we discuss about fifth element, right? What is so? This is what I wanted to tell you. Accident and incidents, or Sir Gulamji, yeah, tell me.
Sir, there is a topic in committee like what is agenda and minutes? What is meant by this? Agenda
Yeah.
and minutes.
See, agenda means what is that we want to discuss? What is today's agenda? You tell me in this class. Suppose you ask me,
Yes,
so
sir.
what is today's agenda? Suppose you think that I am Gulam and I am asking you for time being. What is the today's agenda?
Awareness of health and safety.
No, that is too broad. That is too broad. Now we are only discussing about element 3. So you have to add
Yes,
that
sir.
also. The agenda is that to be specific. So today's agenda is discussing about health and safety, and that we will try to understand element 3, that is managing risks. And we will only discuss about a few important. So today's agenda is about discussing managing risk. So agenda means what is today's plan. That is called agenda. What is the today's plan of discussion? That is called agenda. Okay. Now minutes.
And what? Yes, sir.
Minutes means there are two words. There are two meanings for minutes. 1 minute is time. So 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So I'll come after 10 minutes. So that minutes is referring to the time. There is one more meaning for minutes. So that minutes is writing points while we are discussing. That is called minutes. So in the group, when you are trying to attend a meeting, okay, one person will write all the points that are discussed in that meeting. So that writing of points is called minutes. That is called minutes. Why that has come? Because previously when people used to meet, for every minute you have to start writing the points. That is why it has come as minutes. So that is called minutes of the discussion, minutes of the meeting, minutes of our discussion. Okay, all those minutes of the program, everything. So minutes means the points. So the agenda is what to be discussed, the plan of discussion, and minutes. So most people will ask minutes because when you are trying to meet a committee, every 3 months you meet. So you also discuss new things, and also you should also check the old things also, how they have been covered, whether they have completed, they are pending or not completed, why they have not completed, why they are pending. All those things will come. That is a point of discussion, right? So those are called something that you write that comes up during discussion is called minutes. Agenda means what is the point of discussion? What is the plan of discussion? What is the purpose of discussion? All things comes under agenda.
Yes, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Right. So now coming to this one training part. Now how human factors influence behavior positively and negatively. So there are 3 factors, individual, and make it very fast. Okay, no problem. So we have discussed 2 things. Now the second one is, now what we are saying, if you see, we have completed the 1 minute. We have completed health and safety culture and how to improve the health and safety culture. Now, how human factors influence behavior positively and negatively. So that is what we'll be discussing. So how human factors. In that there are actually there are three factors in a organization. What we are trying to describe: individual factors, organization factors, and job factors. See what is meant by organization. Factors that come from the organization, like the leadership, culture, resources that they provide, the work style, okay, the communication patterns. Those are all related to organization. You have got no role to play in that. So you become a part of it. Individual. So individual, you have got your own knowledge, your own competency, your own skill, your own personality traits, your own attitudes, your own perceptions, everything. So those are going to give you individual factors. So because whenever you take any decisions, or organization factors, individual factors, and job factors, they create what you're trying to say. Job related means task, workload, environment, displays, controls, procedures, all those things are job factors. So any positive or negative aspect that comes out of this are loosely tied to these three things: individual factors, organization factors, and job factors. So organization factors, I'll tell you, because how the safety culture is there, how the leadership takes the HSC seriously, how they try to create the work patterns, how the communication network is there, everything. Job factors means where you take up the job, like the task. Suppose your workloads. So if you're told to work for 13, 14 hours every day, you cannot work. Individual competence, skills, personality, everything. So all these organization factors, now let us discuss one by one. Organization factors, job factors, and individual factors. I said organization factors are the one that influence health and safety based on its approach and responsibilities. Okay. For example, the way the culture is there, okay, the way the standards it's create, the way it organizes the work, the way health and safety is communicated, all those things, right? Now there are certain words like personality. Personality of individual is a set of mental characteristics, feelings and behaviors that influence the individual values, attitude, information processing, including perceptions, emotions, motivations, and all. Okay, like personality, you say it is a pattern of thought, feelings, and behavior. Just remember that. So, what is your personality? Like people, so when you speak out, how we are trying to speak out, how we are trying to expose your feelings, and how you are trying to behave. So, how some people in an interview, when they take, they also not only look at your qualification, they also look at your body language very deeply. Body language will reveal many things about your performance and all. So that is talks about